Hello my dear students. In our last video we have seen about BJT, bipolar junction transistor. In this video we are going to see how this transistor will help us in many functions related to electronics. Now today's topic is transistor configuration. Now what does configuration means? Already you know what is transistor. This transistor is it has three terminals: emitter, base and collector. Related to that, this configuration will help us in many ways. So let's see what is configuration actually means. So the meaning of configuration of transistor. A transistor has three terminals: the emitter, the base and the collector. Using these three terminals, the transistor can be connected in a circuit with one terminal common to both input and output in a three different possible configuration. It means that we can connect one terminal among three common to input and output supply. So there are three different possible configurations. Means in one configuration we can keep emitter as common, other in base as common, and for the third configuration we can keep collector as common. Now what is the reason of this type of configuration? The main reason for designing such configuration is that it requires four terminals in order to provide the input and the output connections of circuit. Hence, this can be made possible by making one terminal in common. Either it can be base or emitter or collector. What is the need of this type of configuration? These designs aim to make the usage of this circuitry in the various applications. This design configuration based on the requirement are utilized in electronic modules. The possible configuration are common emitter configuration, common base configuration, common collector configuration. Now, first of all, we will see common emitter configuration. As you can see, in our last video, we have seen NPN transistor symbol and PNP transistor symbol. Now, this is the common emitter configuration using NPN transistor, but you can use PNP transistor instead of this. So the emitter of the transistor is common to both the input and the output. As you can see, this is the NPN transistor. So N is collector, N and P is base and N is again emitter. Now in this you can see this base is P, which is connected to VBB, means base voltage. Means as you can see there are two batteries connected here in green color, VBB and VCC. Now VBB means voltage to base and VCC means voltage across collector. Now you can see the input signal is given to base and output can be obtained throughout the load resistant which is connected through collector, and IE is the current correct passing through emitter. Now this emitter you can see it is common for VBB and VCC. That means emitter is common in this type of configuration. Again, as I told you earlier, we can use PNP transistor here. So the first diagram, is common emitter configuration with NPN transistor, and this is the common emitter configuration with PNP transistor. Now the common base configuration. Common base configuration means obviously base will be common in both, in input signal and output signal. As you can see, the base is having two batteries, VEE and VCB. Now VEE means voltage supplied to emitter, which is input voltage, and VCB means it is the voltage across collector and base, which is load resistance is there. So output will be obtained from RCC. Now in this way we can see common collector configuration. As you can see in this diagram, the collector of the transistor is common to both the input and output. So in this way you need to understand how this NPN transistor is used as common collector configuration. We can use PNP transistor also. But among these three types of configuration, common emitter configuration is very useful and generally it is used. So we will discuss the common emitter configuration in some detail because it is the most commonly used configuration. The common emitter, it is also called as grounded emitter configuration. The input signal is applied between the base and the emitter, while the output is obtained between the collector and the emitter. Now let's see in detail. Definition. The configuration in which the emitter is connected between the collector and the base is known as common emitter configuration. The input circuit is connected between the emitter base, means input signal is given to emitter and base, and the output circuit is taken from the collector and emitter. Thus the emitter is common to both the input and output circuit, and hence the name is common emitter configuration. Now see how to construct the common emitter with the help of NPN transistor. As you can see, this is the symbol for NPN transistor. How to identify the NPN transistor? The middle P is base, and from positive the arrow is going towards negative, that red arrow you can see. IB is the current through base, means it is base current. IE is the emitter current. IC is collector current, and VBB is the base voltage, means it is input signal provided to base and emitter, and VCC is the output signal which is connected to collector and emitter. The common emitter amplifier configuration produces the highest current and power gain of all three bipolar transistor configuration. This is mainly because the input impedance is low as it is connected in forward bias PN junction, while the output impedance is high as it is connected from a reverse bias PN junction. Now always remember this, the emitter and base are connected in forward bias condition, and collector and emitter is connected in reverse bias condition, so that we get the favorable condition to get more current and more power gain. That's why this common emitter amplifier is useful. In this type of configuration, the current flowing out the transistor must be equal to the current flowing into the transistor, as the emitter current is given by. Now see, the total current flowing through the transistor can be the sum of collector current and the base current by Kirchhoff's current law. Now what is meant by impedance? Impedance is an expression of the opposition that an electronic component or circuit or system offers to alternating and or direct electric current. Now see the second point. This is mainly because the input impedance is low as it is connected in forward bias. Means in forward bias there is low impedance to the current. Means current flow is high. But in output impedance is high. That's why the reverse bias condition current flow will be somewhat less. In this type of configuration, the current flowing out of the transistor must be equal to the current flowing into the transistor as the emitter is given by. Now see, this IE is equal to IC plus IB. As I told you in my last video, IC is the 95% of IE and IB is 5% of the IE, and total sum can be the emitter current which is flowing through the transistor. As the load resistance RL is connected in series with the collector, the current gain of the common emitter transistor configuration is quite large. The current gain is called the current amplification factor. Means the simply we can say the current amplification factor is the ratio of collector current and base current, as you can see in equation number 2. Now one by one just remember the first equation, then second is it is the current amplification factor. Okay. Similarly, the ratio of collector current and the emitter current is defined as alpha. The alpha is the ratio of collector current to emitter current. This is our equation number 3. Now, the ratios beta and alpha are related by some relation. So, from equation 2 and from equation 3, we can say that IC is common in both equations, as you can see. See equation number 2 again. Beta is equal to IC upon IB, and here alpha is equal to IC upon IE. Now we can equate this equation. IC is equals to IE alpha and IB beta. Hence we get this relation, alpha is equal to beta upon beta plus 1 and beta is equals to alpha upon alpha minus 1. Now how we get this equation? We need to derive it. Okay, so let's see in the next slide. Since the electrical relationship between these three currents IB, IC and IE is determined by physical construction of transistor itself, any small change in the base current will result into much larger change in the collector current. Means IB can change IC. Thus, a small change in current flowing through the base will control the current in emitter collector circuit. So, typical value of beta is between 20 to 200 for most. Okay. So, here is the derivation how we can get beta and alpha relation. So, it is the important question as far as this topic is concerned. So let's see from the equation number 1, IE is equal to IB plus IC by Kirchhoff's current law. Also we know that beta is equal to IC upon IB and alpha is equal to IC upon IE. Hence we get IB is equal to IE minus IC from equation number 1. So putting the value of IC, which is gamma IE, from equation number 3. So we can take IE as common. Okay, IB is equals to IE minus alpha IE is there now. So we can keep IE as common and we will get IE in bracket 1 minus alpha. So we get this equation, beta is equal to IC upon IB. Therefore IC upon, now IB value is IE into 1 minus alpha. So this is the required equation we get. The another method is to find, we know IE is equal to IB plus IC. Now IC upon gamma is equal to IC plus IC upon beta. We can just simply put the values. So dividing this equation by IC. So this above equation should be divided by IC. So we get 1 upon alpha is equal to 1 plus 1 upon beta. That's why we get beta is equal to alpha upon 1 minus alpha. So this both method you can use to find out the relation. Also we can take reciprocal of this equation number 4 and we will get alpha is equal to beta upon 1 plus beta. So this is the relation. Actually in your textbook you will not get this complete derivation. So I just wrote on paper and just simplify this for you. The common emitter characteristics. Now this common emitter configuration will have two types of characteristics: input characteristic curve and output characteristics curve. Now the curve plotted between the base current and the base emitter voltage is called as input characteristic curve. Means it will decide the characteristic of input circuit. Okay, so voltage versus base current. For drawing the input characteristic, the reading of base current is taken through the ammeter on emitter voltage at constant collector emitter current. Means while drawing this graph we need to put that collector emitter current constant, otherwise we will not get this. Now see, this is the graph and red line indicates you that this voltage, that current emitter voltage kept constant, which is 2 volt, 6 volt and 10 volt. Means at three different values of common collector emitter voltage we are getting this kind of curve. The x-axis shows the voltage across base emitter, means it is input voltage, and the y-axis represents the base current which is in microampere. The curve for common base configuration is similar to forward diode characteristic. The base current IB increases with the increase in the emitter base voltage VBE. Obviously it's look like the forward bias PN junction diode characteristic. Input resistance. The ratio of change in base emitter voltage to the change in base current, means, now see, change represents delta. Okay, the ratio of change in base emitter voltage to the change in base current at constant emitter voltage VCE is known as input resistance. Okay, so simply just remember that Ri is the input resistance and it is the ratio of change in base emitter voltage to change in base current at constant VCE, collector emitter voltage. Now further, output characteristic. The common emitter configuration, in common emitter configuration, the curve draws between collector current IC and collector emitter voltage VCE at constant base current. Now see, in input characteristic we kept collector voltage as constant. Now here we need to put the base current constant. The characteristic curve for the typical NPN transistor in CE configuration is shown in the figure. Now see, this is somewhat critical to you. At first glance you might be very much confused got confused just because of this red lines. Now this red lines is just the constant base current, different values, 10 micro, 20 microampere, 30 microampere. Okay, so in the active region, the collector current increases slightly as the collector emitter current increases. The value of the collector current IC increases with the increase in voltage. At constant voltage IB, the value of beta is also increases. The output resistance. The ratio of variation means the change in collector emitter voltage to the collector emitter current is known as the collector current at constant base is called as output resistance. Okay, so here we need to keep IB means base current at constant. Now see the application of transistor as an amplifier. So this is the simple circuit diagram for amplifier. This, now you need to guess it which type of uh, transistor it is, NPN or PNP. So VI is the input voltage, VEB is the voltage across emitter and base, VCB is the voltage across base and collector, and load resistance is connected to collector to find the output. Now we need to understand the working of transistor as an amplifier. Let us consider a circuit of an amplifier designed with the basic common emitter configuration. In this configuration, the voltage is applied at the base and emitter terminal. Because the junction present in between them is considered to be in the forward biasing mode. Okay, so we need to keep this forward bias. The considered output is taken across the resistor that act as a load which is connected in between the collector and the base, as I shown you in the figure. As the low resistance is present in the input side in the circuit designed to signal of low strength have been applied to the input, and output generated will be evident to the strength of its signal obtained. Okay, in this way the transistor work as an amplifier. Exactly what happens, let's see again. Now see, this is the circuit diagram. What happens actually, the voltage input, the input voltage which is provided for the emitter base, it will be weak signal, but by amplification process the transistor will help us as an amplifier. What does mean amplify? Amplification means it increases the intensity of the input signal, means we will get somewhat extra strength of the input signal. Now the voltage gain. The gain in terms of voltage when the changes in input and output current are observed is called as voltage gain. The, let's see again. By the definition, it is the ratio of change in output voltage to the change in input voltage. Simply, now suppose anyone asks you the voltage gain definition, you can easily say delta VC upon delta VB. Delta means the change. So this is the formula, delta VC upon delta VE, and it is denoted by A and suffix small v. So in short we can say change in output current into effective load, means voltage means current into resistance, and VB means the input current into input resistance. So that in short you can write output current means collector current, effective load means RAC, change in input current means delta IB, and input resistance means RI. So simply you can say that delta IC upon delta IB can be replaced by beta because it is the value of beta. So in this way we can get voltage gain is equal to beta into RAC upon RI. Now some of the applications of transistor as an amplifier. In radio signals amplification it can be help us. The amplifiers play a prominent role in wireless communication, the FM signal broadcasting. So, in short, that means the signal has to be strengthened. Means input signal are somewhat weaker and we will get some strength of signal in output. Optical fiber communication is the another application for transistor as an amplifier. So the basic application of this transistor amplifier is an audio amplifier, and this is used in our day-to-day activities that we come across. Now these are some questions which are important. So in the whole topic, as far as my opinion is concerned, the main question is the relation between alpha and beta. Hope you understood this topic. If you have any queries you can mail me. So thank you. We'll meet in the next video.